Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day it may be for you. I am the Layback Gamer, and we're back with the official start of the review of the Houses of Morrowind expansion. In this episode, I'm going to be reviewing all of the strength cards, and as well as giving my top three strength cards of this expansion. How I'm judging the now, I have to do this a little differently because as I was going through this, I realized that some of these cards are more powerful if, say Ashland or Zealot. You have that in hand. It's very situational depending. If your opponent has something that has one health that needs to be taken out, perfect answer. If it's two, well, no, you can't really use that. However, if you rally this creature, then it gains some power. And likewise, if the creature only has one attack, and you play Ashlander Zealot with a Fighter's Guild Hull on the field, now it becomes a 3/1 for 1 mana, which not too bad. Not too bad. So I kind of had to try to judge this based on how good the card stands alone. And as I was going through this, I realized that some of these cards I can't really do that for because, well, you'll see when that happens. I kind of felt that around willpower, agility, and a little bit of endurance. But for strength and intelligence, I think I made a fairly clear and reasonable representation of it. So, first off, we're all going to do this all with a premium card look, as I'm also going to be, judging the premium art for it. So, Bushwhack, not a bad premium art. What do I think about the card? It's decent. I haven't seen it played too much, but I think it could be useful. What it would be used for, I don't know. It's useful because it's a 0 cost, you ignore guards, and you can attack any creature. I think this would be used for a heavy aggro deck, so once aggro starts coming back in, then we may see more of Bushwhack, but I'm unsure. I think it's a decent card, but we'll have to see when it gets played. And that's the case with a lot of these. I haven't seen much play from quite a few of these cards, so it's going to be, most of the response are going to revolve around, we'll see how it works. Ashlander Zealot, on the other hand, not really. Not really feeling the premium art for that. I know my camera's not really capturing this too well, and I do apologize. But basically, what's going on here is his armor's kind of glistening. It extends all the way down to his weapon, and it looks like it's emitting like a sound wave from it. I don't know what the weapon is, but Ashlander Zealot, 1 mana, 1/2, summon, battle an enemy creature. I gave a perfect example. It's situational depending. It's okay. Of course, it gets better with rally, or it gets better if you manage to equip it with an item, but it's situational depending. If you're putting it against something that has 1 health, perfect. Great, good removal, very cheap. You get a creature back in your grave, and if you play Journey to Sovngarde, now you have a 1 mana 6/7 that battles an enemy creature. If you have other cards like Fighter's Guild Hall out on the field, or say it's an arena and it's a ward lane, you can use this guy to pick off a ward, then use a stronger creature that you have to kill that other guy, and you get to keep Ashlander Zealot. So again, it's very situational, but overall, I think now that I think about it, I think it's a decent card. It's an okay card. Okay in my books. I would run it. Corpus Disease, 1 mana, silence a creature, then give a +2 attack. In my notes, I have why. Why would you do this? Now, granted, some creatures don't have any effects, so go ahead and silence those. They don't have anything. But still, why would you silence a potentially very powerful effect? I mean, to get lethal, maybe, but I don't see this ever being played. Not even in aggro. Then we got Dagoth Dagger, which is a 1 mana 2/1 with Breakthrough. Honestly, it's okay. I don't think it's really that good. It's great for charging up creatures so that you can get... It's a cheap way to charge creatures up so you can get Dagoth value, but still, Steel Scimitar does the exact same thing. And sometimes that breakthrough can be a drawback, so... it's alright. It's alright. Not bad. Not a good premium art either. Oh, I can't wait to get to that premium art. Okay, I could get behind this. The sunlight peering down, shining the blade. Sarathian Scion, 1 mana, 1/1 rally. It's good for what it does. It's okay for what it does. That's all I have to say on that. Fighters Guild Hall, 2 mana support. When a friendly creature takes damage on your turn, give it +2 attack. Again, I'm uncertain because I've never seen this played. I am going to be attempting to make a deck that would work with this, and it's going to be around a lot of creatures battling each other. Wrathgar Forge is going to be in there. There's going to be a heavy rally deck. It's going to be Redoran for sure. But I'm unsure. I'm going to try to make it work. That I can promise you. I'm going to attempt to make it work, but I don't think it's going to work out as well as I'm hoping, but it's going to give me some fun experience. I don't even know how to pronounce this. And that tells you what my opinion is on it. It's as good as my pronunciation of this card, which it's not good. Ordinary Ikago Audi? I don't even know if that's right. It's not that good. For 2 more mana, I could get charge. And it as a Minotaur. I could get charge. I don't have any more to say about that card. Dagoth Oathman. Now, there are 5 cards in each of this that we're not going to talk about. Dagoth Oathman is one of them that I'm not going to talk about until the triple class because I can't evaluate it until I apply a condition of a triple class. So we're going to skip over that one for now. Halahu Sharpshooter. 3 mana, 2/3. It's a Nord. Plot. Silence a creature and deal 1 damage to it. Honestly, it's okay. It's good in a plot deck, but normally there are better answers. There's better. You can do better. For example, Earthbone Spinner. You don't have to plot. Yeah, it costs 1 more mana, but oftentimes when you're plotting, it's going to cost 4 mana. Now, if you have a 0 cost, it's going to cost 3, but oftentimes it comes out and it's more than... to get the effect, you're paying more than what you would with an Earthbone Spinner, is what I'm trying to say. I've seen it, and I don't like when it comes out, but then again, I don't like silence in general. I'd be just as upset if a Earthbone Spinner came out, but seeing a non-plot Halahu Sharpshooter always brings a smile to me because I don't have to worry about a silence. So let's move on to the next one. Lower Kenton Smith. 3 mana, 2/2. Plot. Equipped a friendly creature with a 2/2 Steel Scimitar. Obviously, I didn't like the last card, so this one's going to be the same, right? Actually, no. I disagree with that statement, and I think this is a pretty good card. Now, granted, I'm not quite sure where I'm going with that, but the thing that makes it a good card, it's just a friendly creature. I could play a 0 mana curse, then play this card out, and equip it to himself. Now I got a 3 mana 4/4. And I just did -1/-1. Now granted, sometimes you may want to equip it to something else, which you got to play another card first. But in general, I think this is a good card to play. Now, granted, I know what I said at the beginning, and I had to try to on their own merit. Some, I guess, also said some cards you can't really do that. I also have to judge based on the effect, and the effect's good. It's a good effect. Good. It's a balanced creature. I think it's good. Next, we have Redoran Battle Spear Rally 1 +1/+3. It's a common and it's an item. I think it's a great card. You get extra health. I use it in my Redoran deck, and it has saved quite a few creatures. That extra 1 health it often means the difference between my guy is going to live and my guy is going to die. And you get you rally. So you're guaranteed to give another creature +1/+1. So by attacking with a creature with Veteran Battlesphere, you get +1 additional damage to whatever you did. Your creature has 3 health, so it has a higher chance of surviving. And now a guy in your hand has +1/+1. So essentially, equipping Veteran Battlesphere to a creature that attacks is basically saying, I'm going to give 2/4, except split that, not really evenly, amongst 2 other creatures. Which is great. It's good. I like it. Alderum Arms Master, 2 mana, 4 mana, 2/3 Dark Elf, charge and rally. I like it. It's a good card. It kind of matches, and actually he's wielding the Battle Sphere too, which is ironic because if he wasn't, he'd be a 1/0. But it has the reverse stats of the Minotaur, and it's instead of Breakthrough, it has Rally, which I believe is... I'm not going to say what I think of Rally, but it's a strong mechanic as long as you have creatures in your hand, and you just constantly buff it. You just buff creatures up. It's great. The fact that it's also a charge creature means you get that value immediately. So essentially, for 4 mana, you're getting a 3/4. Except you have 1/1 on a different creature and 2/3 on this one, which, yeah, sometimes mean the difference between you killing something or not. But you can also equip items to it. Say turn 7. Turn 7 runs around. I equip it with a Veteran Battlesphere. Now he has 2 Battle Spheres. One in the art and one from the item I gave him. The Rally compounds. It's huge. It Rally compounds. So it'll give a creature +2/+2 now, which is... Man, I like this card. I think it's a great card, especially when you build it up. And we're going to see a lot more play of it. Ash Berserker. I love that animation. I love it. Just the fire exploding in the background. I love it. 4 mana Ash creature for 3. At the end of your turn, if you have a creature with 5 or more power, draw a card. It's very easy to make Ash Berserker that 5 power card, because it will trigger off itself. If it was weaker, if it was, say, a 3/3, it would not be nearly as good. Because now I could equip still almost any item in the game I could put on Ash Berserker, and he now triggers his own effect. He doesn't need to rely on anybody else but himself. There's an item in this game that gives a creature ward if it has 5 attack or more. This guy gets the ward. He can survive a hit, draws you a card, and if he lives another turn, draws another card. It's a very powerful card. We're going to see a lot more of it. Next we have False Incarnate. 4 mana Dark Elf, 5/4. Your opponent can't gain health. I initially saw this and said, this is not a good card. But then I thought, what kind of deck would run this? And I think the kind of deck that would run this would also run Witherhand Cultist. Because now, in addition to restricting your opponent to being only able to play minions for a while until they get the mana to play their increased costed spell actions, now they can't gain health. So now you've put them in a really tough situation that might be easy to get out of, might be difficult to get out of. So I don't know how this card's going to work. I've never seen it, so it might be just bad. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Oops. Alright, Fighters Guild Steward. 4 mana Nord, 3/3. Summon a friendly creature with 5 or more power, battles an enemy creature. This would go well with the Fighters Guild Hall because you now give that creature +2 attack, but I'm not quite sure if I like this enough. I'm going to be building a deck that revolves around battle as a primary effect, so we will see. Do I think it's going to be that good right now? I said not very good in my notes, so probably not going to be that good. Next I have Imposter's Mission. 4 mana action. Summon an imposter with power and health equal to the power of your most powerful creature. I found this to be hilarious. It's funny. It's a great card. Well, that not. It's not a. Let me rephrase. It's a great card for a good laugh, especially when the guy comes out. It's like, I'm just doing my patrol, and unfortunately, I can confirm that the art does not change. It's unfortunate because I really was hoping it was kind of like Fabricant, where it could change. It might, but it didn't, and I was a little disappointed about it. It's a fun card, definitely. I just don't think it's that pliable. I got it off of Mudcrab Merchant. I got one off of Mudcrab Merchant, and I chose the other card. My opponent played it. He didn't know how to play it. He played it, and it was a 1/1. And I laughed. It's a great card to give your opponent from Mudcrab Merchant, but it's not a very usable card, unfortunately. Which is sad, because I like it. Kimona Tong Heavy, 5 mana Orc, 4/3. Plot, unsummon a creature in this lane with less power than Kimona Tong Heavy. I said nope. And that's all I gotta say. Now, okay, fine. I will give him a little more fairness. First off, you have to plot. Secondly, it costs a lot. Lastly, less power than it. It can't be a 4. You have to buff this creature up if you want it to be, if you want it to unsummon anything else. So, no. I don't think it's going to see play. Fetcherfly Golem, 5 mana Daedra, 5/5. Whenever Fletcherfly Golem takes damage and survives, summon a 2/2 Fetcherfly Swarm. Now, this one I had a big maybe for. It combos well with Fighter's Guild Steward, and you choose a creature for it to battle. However, well, actually, in addition, it also gives you a 2/2. I said maybe this might work. I'm gonna try it in a deck, but I'm not gonna be I'm not very optimistic about it. I don't think it's going to amount to much, but you never know. We will have to see. Next, we got Servant of Dag. Oh, actually, before I do go, it does have a really cool animation. I'll give it that. The fire burning off of its body, flaming in lava hands. It looks really nice. I can't wait. I really want to see the premium Petrifly Swarm that it summons. Servant of Dagoth, Ash Creature. Summon if you have a creature with 5 or more power, +2/+2 in guard. This is a staple for all Dagoth decks, as it can be very easy to get a creature that has that has 5 or more power. Fetcherfly Golem, which we just looked at, has that already. It's not really good if you just want to play it as a tempo card. You kind of want the ability to go off, but it's not a bad way. Let me rephrase. It's not a bad card to play without it. You can play without it, and you might get away with it, and potentially clean up board. But you definitely want to trigger this whenever you can. Stendar's Hammer, 5 mana item, double the power of the wielder. The wielder can only attack creatures. Now, I don't think it's that great, unless the creature has breakthrough, in which case it'll do damage to your opponent, and it'll get some value from it. Aside from that, if the creature does not have breakthrough, you got to give it something with breakthrough, or I don't see this being a usable weapon. It's not bad though. If you can get that scenario down, I think it'll be okay. Then we have Cliff Hunter, 6 mana reptile, 3/3, prophecy, summon, battle an enemy creature. I hear a lot. I've heard quite a few people ripping on this card, saying it's not a great card, and I'll be honest. While it's not that good. I think it's a okay card. You can use it. Prophecy, you may be able to clean off an opponent's creature, especially if you had, say, played, oh, I forget that card. I forget it. Oh, shame on me. 6 go to Skyrim because it was here. Is it Praetorian Commander? Yeah, so Praetorian Commander. You played this a couple times. It now has 5/5. Now it's a little better. Or you have it in your hand as another way to deal some damage. Yes, it's true. The Skyborn Dragon, which is right over here. Sorry, throat's getting a little dry. Is better for attack, and it has a little bit of synergy. But being able to get off of a prophecy, especially in strength, I'm going to say it. I'm going to have to argue with people, and then they're saying this is an awful card. Oh, that's Clockwork City. I meant Houses of Morrowind. Where is it? One more page. I do not think it's a good card whatsoever. But I don't think it's a bad card. It's definitely playable. You can use it. A prophecy in strength that will do an immediate effect. Anything that does an immediate effect is always welcome, especially if it kills an opponent's creature. This could save you from lethal. And I have used it in the past. You soul tear this guy back out. He's now stronger. Thank you, Star Wars, for that. And I disagree with people saying it's a bad card. I don't think it's a bad card. It's not a good card. It's in the middle. It's an okay card. Sharp-Eyed Ashcan. 6 mana Dark Elf 6/6. Plot. Discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. If you have no cards in your hand, you get a free hand, which is not bad. And unlike Hit and Run, you don't discard it. But I haven't seen enough of this played to really determine. It's great to refill your hand. But the problem is, if you draw more than one of these, you're now stuck with, I'm losing one of them. Oops. So, I'd have to see this played in a practical situation, but I think it does have potential. It's got some potential. And the animation in the background also very nice. I like fiery animation. It's very nice. I love it. It's awesome. And now on to Scar Drillmaster. 6 mana Red Guard, 5/5 rally. When Scar Drillmaster rallies a creature in your hand, put a copy of the rallied creature into your hand with +1/+1. If it works, great. It's good. Regardless on what it hits, it can hit a sweet roll for all you care. I'm pretty sure the rally gives a sweet roll +1/+1, and then you get another sweet roll in your hand that has +1/+1 as well. So now you have 2 sweet rolls that are 0 mana or 1 mana, 1/2s. Great. Get some value. And that's at the bare minimum. I'm using like the next to nothing. And it's still a decent effect. Imagine if you get a powerful card like... well, we're going to review another card. We're going to review a very powerful card here in just a moment. It's the next card coming up. But imagine if you got that from this. I like it. I think it could be used. If I get one, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play with it. Aspect of Hircine. It's a 9 mana werewolf. Werewolf synergy. 6/6. Not good. No, it's Lanneth. It's Lanneth stats for that, so the effect better be really good. Summon, choose one. Strength. I think +6/+6 in guard. Speed. Gains charge. Yep. Great finisher. And like I said, with Scar Drillmaster, you get if Scar Drillmaster triggers on a card like this, now you have 2. Now you have a 9 mana, 2 of them, 7/7s that can have charge. How awesome is that? Or you have 13/13 guards. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all, especially for a late game card. And you can have 3 of these. Whew. Nice. And then we have my personal favorite, the Red Year. 10 mana action, deal 10 damage to each creature. Considering strength does not have... Well, You can combine it with intelligence and get some board clear, but this is a very, very potent and an effective late game clear. I'm going to tell you why. As I've played it, I've played with it. Some people may have seen me with this card and play it on turn 10 when it was a good play. It is very powerful. You deal 10 damage to it could save you. I had a few games where the red year, I played it, I wiped my opponent's board out and won 2 turns later. It is very powerful, very potent. I think people might be underestimating this card. I think it's a great late game board removal spell that Redoran can use, Dagoth can use, Halahu can use, Crusader, Warrior, the Works. They can use this. A control deck would love this. Just nuke your opponent's board, turn 10, and come back, win the game 2 turns later. I like this card. Alright, so with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm not ending the episode right yet, but I'm going to give my top 3 cards of this. I'm going to start with my honorable mention, and it should come at... No, these shouldn't... I'd be surprised if some people found this at a surprise. As I gave really good environments, hit really good scenarios for them. My honorable mention, Redoran Battlesphere. I think it's a sleeper card. I haven't seen too many people play it. It's really good for what it does. If you put it on another or creature that already has rally, it now rallies twice. Oh, I don't really have to say too much about any of the cards I'm about to say, but here are my top 3. At number 3, I think y'all know where I'm going. Red Year. I've said it. The only downside to Red Year is the cost of it, but there are some cards in this game that can reduce. There is and I'm basing this off the card alone. I'm not even considering other cards that can help you to play this. In Dagoth deck, you have a couple of cards. One of the cards I know you have is Mage's Guild Recruit. On turn 2, reduces to 8 mana. Even better. There's an even more powerful way of this in Willpower, where you get, I believe it's Morong Tong. It's Morong Tong, one of the Morong Tong cards. It's the guy that summons a target, and whenever it slays a card, it draws. If it's an action, reduces its cost to 0. Imagine getting Red Year off of that. You now have a free Red Year, nukes the board for 10 damage, put the board back, put everything that you got back on, everything in your hand, back on the battlefield. Works great with a card like Night Mother, works great with anything that requires cards to be, well, just to die. Works great with that. I think Red Year, that some people might criticize and say, oh yeah, it's bad, but I believe this card has a lot of potential. Coming in at number 2 is the Alzrun Blades Master. And it should come at no surprise. Well, some people might be surprised. Why would you pick that? Let me explain. Charge. You get the rally effect instantly. Yeah, 2 damage, yeah, kinda, it's not that great, but if you just target face and you have nothing to stop it, if you have rallying if you constantly rally every turn, you're gonna have creatures that are massive, absolutely huge. And 3 health, it's okay. It's good to have 3 health. It survives a lot of turn 1, turn 2 drops. Survives that. Rallies. It's a really good card. Play with this card for a little bit. Try adding items to it. Makes it even better. Try this card. It's a rare. It's not that hard to get. If you buy the Redorans in pack, you'll have some of these. If you bought it, you have some of these. And it's 100 soul gems to soul summon. This is the premium version, so it says it's 100. It says it's 400, but normal version 100 gems, 100 soul gems. Try it out. Try it out. Last card, Ash Berserker. I was trying to find a negative for this, and the only negative is your opponent removes it. That's it. You essentially would have lost nothing except for a creature if your opponent got rid of it. The effect, it's okay. The effect is really good, even if it gets silenced. Just give it +1/1 attack. Trigger the rest. Trigger everything else. You can even you give it +1 attack. Use Fighters Guild Steward. Make him trade with a card, and he's earned his value. It's a very powerful card. I think it's well balanced as well. Getting a card off of this, crazy good. If you got multiple of these on the field, you have all the card draw you'll ever need. All of it. I could see very little negatives with this. Again, it's 100 soul gems to soul summon. Give it a try. I don't have any currently right now, and I wish I did. But it's a good card. It's a good card. But that concludes the strength review, the strength portion of the Houses of Morrowind set. Thank you everyone for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you really enjoyed. Don't forget to share this video or any of my other videos to anybody who you think will enjoy my content. Tomorrow we'll come out with the intelligence and willpower card reviews of the Morrowind expansion. But until then, guys, take it easy.